I plan on creating over 100 plus six-figure traders in 2024. Yo, gang, so this is a video I have not tackled in the last few years. I made one video on it. I don't remember if it was 2020 or 2021. I'm assuming 2020. So that's basically 3.5, 4 years ago, right? And then since then, it's been kind of common sense, but I wanted to make a new video now on what I'm doing in 2024, especially for those people who are at 365 and people who are not in 365 who's wondering exactly what brokers I'm using, what's going on with meta quotes, what's up with these unregulated brokers, and just the whole scope of things. So kind of like buckle in, because you're kind of in for a long-ish video. I mean long, let's say maybe 20 minutes or so, but that's what we're aiming for. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Swaggy C. I've been trading for 9 years. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I've been teaching for the last 4.5, 5. I've created a lot of programs that have benefited a lot of traders out there, well over 24,000 at this point. We're still going and growing strong each and every day. But without further ado, let's talk about brokers, the exact broker I'm using, and which brokers you guys should be using as well. So getting into the video, let's first start with meta quotes, and then let's talk about the brokers that I'm using, right? So if you guys don't know, a lot of what's been going on recently is that meta quotes has been like getting a lot of unregulated brokers off the platform, and it's not for the reason you may think. I'll tell you guys what the rumor is from leaders in our industry, like my point of view from what I'm hearing, and it's up to you guys to figure out, or at least keep it in your mind until the rest of it comes out, right? So it is not because unregulated brokers are bad, right? Understand, meta quotes has been utilizing and benefiting from unregulated brokers on their platforms for a very long time. So why right now all of a sudden they're just kicking every single one off? Why, right? It's not because, again, they're just bad because they use them. If they were just bad, they would have kicked them off in 2014, 2016, 2018. No, they benefited from all of them, right? From what I'm hearing is that meta quotes wants to do something within their company, like potentially sell or acquired or other things in that nature. I'm not going to get too much into it because I don't even have the full details. I'm just telling you guys keep you guys updated, my audience, with that is what technically is potentially going on. So it'd be more valuable to a buyer if it was just all regulated brokers, things of that nature, right? It's nothing to do with unregulated brokers are just bad and we're getting away from them. So keep that in your mind, at least when it comes to this, right? Like I talked about this before. A lot of unregulated brokers just want to pay like these massive fees that the U.S. requires, right? So they just unregulated brokers, and we're going to dump down the point from point to point to point. They don't want to just run off with your money. They don't want you to just, fail, and then they're going to steal every single dime that you put into it, and then you'll never hear from them 2 years later, right? You may have heard 2 stories of that out of like the 2,000 that you've come across, right? The reality is they just want to pay $30 million in fees per year or $50 million per year just to be regulated. They just want to do that, right? So they'd rather go offshore and go that route, right? Or, be more in the retail market, right? And offer a leverage of 1 to 500 when the US will cap it at 1 in 50, right? Or Europe, 1 in 30, right? Like that's just what they want to do. They don't want to run off with your money because that would be stupid for them. They want to be in business for 6, 7, 8 years and make money for 6, 7, 8 plus years, not make money for half a year, 1 year, run some bucket shop and go crazy and then run off. It does nothing for them longevity wise. Then what happens? They got to have that reputation, but then at the same time, they got to figure out what's the next thing for them. No, they just want to have a business that's sustaining, right? There's a bunch of great brokers out there that are unregulated, and I want to kind of at least talk about that extensively first. Now, knowing that, I do believe that regulated brokers are good as well. So I'm going to pull my laptop up here actually, and I want to talk about specifically, get my glasses on correctly, the 2 brokers that I am actually using, right? So when I pull my screen up, right, the 2 brokers that I am focusing on is the first one, 24K Markets. That is the unregulated one. And then number 2 is FOREX.com, which is the regulated one, right? And with 365, I said flat out I wanted to do it on a unregulated broker and a regulated broker. The regulated broker, the only reason being is because I want people to see that, yes, you can trade on a regulated broker. Everything doesn't have to be on an unregulated broker so people can think like, oh, it's real. But if I didn't care about that, all my trades would just be on, an unregulated broker or 24K markets, right? Like most of my success came from, 2019, 2018 Osprey FX days, right? So keep that in your mind, right? But 24K markets, I kind of been studying them for a little bit, and with a lot of my trading, it's a focus on gold per se, right? Like I trade gold a lot. I don't trade indices, but they're big on indices as well. But I trade gold a lot. Gold and GA, those are my two babies, my two pairs. And they kind of have a focus on gold. And if you go through the site, on 24K markets, I'll get the 1 in 500 leverage, right? I'll get the indices that I really want to trade. I'll get gold leverage. And that's the biggest thing, right? With Forex.com, I love them to death and I'm using them, right? This is not let me clean my glasses off real quick, but this is not me talking bad about Forex.com. I'm using them. They're my favorite regulated broker, right? I prefer them more than Oanda, right? You can Google Forex.com versus Oanda side by side, and they'll show you side by sides. And Forex.com kind of like ups them on like almost every category, like right, just by like 1 or 2 points, right? I'm just saying that when it comes to gold, I will be up 2,000 pips on gold, right? And all of a sudden, I'm not really making that much money because you can't leverage gold, right? Or I'm up 200 pips or 100 pips or 500 pips. You got to understand that the pip count on gold is different than regular pairs, right? So gold could be at 1,800 and I can have it from 1,800 to 2,000 like an ounce, right? That's 2,000 pips, right? Or I could just be up like 780 pips on gold, but it's not that much money because it's not leverage, right? I'll try to get a 5 lot on gold. All of a sudden it's like, oh, margin and X, Y, and Z, or 8 lot or 7 lot, which I'm used to on unregulated brokers. So I kind of have that yin and yang type of thing, like that back and forth type of thing, right? I want to use Forex.com for like majors, right? I still get that 1 in 50 leverage, which is really, really good on like the Euro USD pairs and like the major pairs that still move and like are real liquid, right? Like obviously Euro USD is the most liquid pair, the most traded pair. So I really want to focus on those majors on Forex.com. However, I will be using 24K markets for, gold and things. And to be fair, the market is closed. It is Saturday, December 30th. So the spread says this, but you guys know damn well there's no like AUD USD is not no 61 spread. The markets are closed, right? So markets are closed. Keep that in mind. So that's why it's like this. But when you come here Sunday when the market's open, or Monday or Tuesday, or on a regular week, it's down back to normal, 0.5, 1. Like the spread is very, very low, right? Great spreads there. STP model, which I personally love. Let me read it real quick. This means that when the client places a trade, there's no manipulation from the dealing desk, no recourse, as well as no conflict of interest between any clients, right? So I love that, right? So we keep that in mind, have that here, and I have this here as well. Now, we talk about with meta quotes, right? 24K markets uses Trade Locker. And if you guys know what Trade Locker is, I want to be very, 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 very clear on this. I am not affiliated with Trade Locker. I get no money from Trade Locker. I'm not a part of anything with Trade Locker. I have no involvement with Trade Locker whatsoever, right? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? But I can see when something great in the future is being presented in front of the masses to see, right? When Netflix came out, people thought they were crazy because Blockbuster was a thing until Netflix dominated the market share, right? Even Google, when Google came out, they wanted to be bought up by Yahoo for not that much of a price. Yahoo said no. Now Google is way, 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 way far ahead, and Yahoo had to get resold for way less than what they were worth in 2000, right? So I see it just like that, where there's something being built that's going to be bigger or just as big or bigger than what we're used to, right? And I'm saying, and it may seem like there's a bias in my voice. I'm just saying because I've been in this industry for so long. I've seen trends before it happened. People thought Travis was crazy creating Uber until Uber dominated the market share and took over cabs, right? I see the same thing with Trade Locker. Would I love to be a part of Trade Locker? Hell yeah. I'm just not a part of it, right? They have all the access to, trading on an app on your phone, right? So all my trades are placed on my Samsung Z Fold, right? They have the app, but they also have the web platform here as well where you can trade. So again, imagine trading on an unregulated broker that you prefer on an app, or on an app on your phone, or on the web, right? You're not really used to trading on the web with an unregulated broker. You only used to do that with FOREX.com, TD Ameritrade, things like that, right? But Trade Locker is basically the alternative to MT4. So what's going to happen, or what is happening, is basically it's basically a combination of TradingView and MetaTrader. So you'll have all the same things in MetaTrader and more, right? There's some things like MetaTrader won't even tell you if your trade hit profit, like, oh, it hit profit, and like I woke up, and with MetaTrader, you got to wake up, open the app, see if you're in negative or if you're positive. No, like you sleep, you wake up, your phone will have a whole alert. You successfully won this trade, blah, blah, blah. Like you have it pop up. So there's a lot of, like it says right here, don't let outdated tools ruin your trading. I only say that because 24K Markets is on there, right? It is not on MetaTrader right now. And I'm cool with that. Like I said, I'm cool with trading on Trade Locker. Like I said, I have no affiliation with them. And I want to say it just to keep saying it, just to let you guys know that this is not some, oh yeah, Chris runs Trade Locker and I'm not a part of that. But some good people are running it, and they're doing an amazing job with it. And I love seeing things take over, right? So you can look through all of this here and go crazy. I already have an account. I'm already ready. I'm already using this for 365 specifically, right? Like a lot of people in my community are already on 24K and already on Forex.com. But I do understand that there are a lot of people who are not going to be on Forex.com because Forex.com because of the low leverage that it has. And somebody also, and this is something I didn't even know, which is crazy, shows how much of a break I took these last few months, right? But somebody put in 365, and they were like, oh yeah, I was told Forex.com is going to get rid of gold and silver in 2024. And that's news to me, right? And if that's the case, I'm all in on here because gold is one of my favorite pairs, if not the best pair that I trade over everything. You look at all my day trading videos from the past, gold, 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 gold. So I want to get on a platform that kind of focuses on gold. And like I said, when it comes to spreads, everything is like all high because of the weekend being closed. These are not the spreads. I would know. I was just on it 2-3 days ago in front of my whole 365 audience. So yeah, the gold standard broker for all your trading. So I'll be here for my unregulated trading, which is I want to get, like I said, higher leverage. And like indices, people trade US 30, NAS 100, SPX, right? And they want to have that, and obviously you can't trade that on Forex.com, right? So I'm using Forex.com because I do want to grow an account on Forex.com. I've been using Forex.com for years as like part of my trading. I'm familiar with them. I like them more than Wanda. I do want to have some regulated credentials to my name, right? Like, okay, Swaggy over this 365 journey from January 1st to December 31st, he grew an account on 24K Markets and Forex.com. One was regulated, one was unregulated. Because people have like this, some people have this bias about unregulated brokers in the industry. Like, oh, you did it on an unregulated broker, do it on a regulated broker. Well, if you think about it, there's a reason why it was done on an unregulated broker, because the leverage was there, right? Trying to grow a small account to a higher account on a regulated broker is not the fact that it's quote unquote hard because it's regulated. No, it's just there's low leverage. The pairs I want to trade are not there. And the reality of the situation is it's going to be longer, right? So your psychology is being trained even more, right? Because you know, you have a trade that done made 150 pips. The $5,000 account you had done turned to 7,500. On an unregulated broker, you would have made $20,000 on that trade, right? So now your account is up from 5,000 to 25,000 instead of 7,000 because it's more leverage to use the lot size that you want. However, and I will put a disclaimer, everybody already knows the higher the leverage is and the more the responsibility is on you, right? So the thing with Forex.com is they're not trying to hinder your trading. They just don't trust you, right? Like, they just don't trust you, right? So they know that you would just go in and go all full margin and be like, all right, on a $1,000 account, I'm putting a 3 lot, right? 3 lots on it, 30 pips, I'm done. You know what I mean? And they just don't want that. They just want consistent, successful trading, which I agree. The pro and con to unregulated is that you can put whatever trade you want and go all in if you want to, but it's on you. It's your choice. If I want to do a 5 lot, I can. It's my choice. If I lose it and I blow 20% of my account, that's on me. So the choice is on you when it comes to here. As far as Forex.com, the account I do have, the DMA account, direct market access account, I will read it straight from them right now. Gaining exposure to deep FX liquidity pools typically only available to institutional traders. Our DMA account gives you access to multiple levels of liquidity displayed in real time. Understand this, typically only available to institutional traders. This is not the little kids running around screaming SMC and all. That's not that type of institutional traders. Actual institutional traders. That's what it means by that. So I have that for FOREX.com. I have a DMA account, and then I'm using 24K markets as my regular kind of day-to-day account because I do want to grow. Right? Somebody mentioned as well, right, when we talked about Sean Lee's 5K challenge, right? When it was like, didn't he have to like kind of like over leverage to get there? Yeah, he did. It was a flip challenge for a reason, right? If you go through that whole 5K challenge that he did, it was a lot of leveraging. If I can pull it up really quick, let's say Sean Lee 5K challenge. I'll do it live, right? Click it here, right? There's a lot of things that said just to warn everyone and blah, 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 but let's ignore all of that. Let's just get right here, right? If you just go to the history, right? Oh my gosh, sorry, it's an ad from IC Markets. If you just go to the history right here, right, and just go all the way, if you guys don't know, a few years ago, Sean took a 4.6K account all the way to 600,000, right, in like a month, right? If you look at here, these are all over leverage, right? If you look at, he got 4 pips, 3 pips, 19 pips, 15 pips, right? The lot size he used was 2 lot, 3 lot, 5 lot, 3 lot, right? Like on a 4.5K account, that's over leveraging, right? But if you scroll here, like couple $100 days, then couple $1,000 days, then couple losses, $2,000 losses. That necessarily won't happen on Forex.com because they'll make sure that your stop loss is accurate. You're not going like all in on trades. But then all of a sudden, it starts getting consistency, right? Like boom, blowing up, getting $1,000 days. And all of a sudden, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 27,000. Some big losses as well, right? 32, 33. Big wins, right? 119, 137, 126. Some big losses, but what I'm trying to say is that is the point of using an unregulated broker, right? It's all on you, right? It's not a matter of, this is the video I was talking about earlier. It's not a matter of we're going to make sure you do X, Y, Z to have great trading. That's what the regulated broker is for. But unregulated, you're able to move around and do what you want and kind of just see and test the waters and see if you can. I personally believe if somebody wants to risk 12% of their account because they feel so confident about a trade, they can. I'm not going to recommend that to everybody out there because that's going to be bad advice for everybody, but I want people to risk what they are comfortable with, right? I did a podcast with James Storm, and he was talking about how like there's sometimes he risks like 70% of his whole account because he's so confident on a trade. I would never do that, but who am I to tell James how to trade when he's a full-time trader? Who am I to tell him how to trade, right? So I'm not here to tell everybody what to risk. I'm just telling people that there are some times where I personally am comfortable risking 10% of my account. I just am because I know I can make it back in the next trade because I know how good of a trader I am. There's some people out there who want to only risk 2% and 3%. That's okay. You may be more conservative. That is fine. Keep that in mind. It really, really depends on you. As far as an extra broker that I may keep on the side, like there may be a chance that I use Osprey FX. But I probably won't as much, right? They use TradeLocker as well, right? A lot of the unregulated brokers are going to TradeLocker as well, so they can be good. But for the most part, I'm using 24K markets for my unregulated side. Indices, SPX, US 30, now it's 100. Metals, we got my gold baby right here. Let me keep scrolling. We got everything here, right? So I'm using this, and if by month 5 or 6 this doesn't work out as much, then we'll move. But for the most part, I believe I'm committing to this for the full year, Forex.com for the full year, and this will be the catalyst for all the videos that I'm creating moving forward, right, for 2025 and 2026. People who want to watch what happened in 365 but they didn't join it, and they want to pay for all the videos and stuff in the upcoming 2-3 years because they didn't know I existed, but they find my videos in 2029. Yeah, they can see the videos. Will be on these two platforms, 24K Markets and Forex.com. So keep that in mind when it comes to brokers and regulated brokers versus unregulated brokers. There's, like I said, a pro and con list. And when it comes, people think that, trading on an unregulated broker is, hang on, let me make sure that video even saved, actually. Did it save? Yeah, it did. I'm about to say, okay, let me just make sure, because I just did a whole video and it better had say, let me just check real quick. Yep, it did. Okay, cool. People think that trading on an unregulated broker is illegal. No, it's not. Like the US just gives you a warning that just says like an unregulated broker, if they wanted to, they could run off with your money. Whereas like something bad could happen tomorrow to Forex.com. They're still technically, legally required to give you your money no matter what. Unregulated brokers do not. But that's the risk that people put in, right? Like Q just made $600,000 trading in like, I don't know if it was a day or a week, whatever he did. He got paid out, right? They don't want to run off with your money, right? I'm more positive on unregulated brokers now than I was in year 4 per se, right? In my first 3 years, I used unregulated brokers, right? My first year I used like Trader's Way, Hugo's Way, all that type of stuff. Year 4, used Osprey FX and then Forex.com, and then just made the switch to Forex.com once I flipped my account, right? Switched over to Forex.com, just been coasting on Forex.com, right? And now I found, and I'm like, okay, if I want to get back into 365 and trade for a full year and go crazy on my accounts and show everybody that, I got to get one unregulated so I can be comfortable with the leverage, and then one regulated one. Then I'll do both in tandem. So I hope this video helped you guys out a lot in terms of the questions you guys had about, 1, what brokers that I'm using for this upcoming year, 2, what's going on with meta quotes, and 3, is your money safe? Your money is safe. Don't worry, your money is absolutely safe. Just get a broker you trust. And like I said, if you guys want to follow me and do 24K markets forex.com, you absolutely can. Recommended deposit, I don't know, it depends. You probably can't deposit $200 on a DMA account in forex.com, but you can get a regular standard account, right? A regular standard market maker account. Literally, it won't be a DMA account, right? It'll be a thing on a market maker, but get a standard account in forex.com, or you can just go put the 200, 300 into into 24K markets, right? There's some people in there who are going to trade on prop firms as well. That's fine. If I were you, I'd trade on a prop firm. And I mentioned this in 365 as well, where it's like I said, if I were you guys out there starting, I wouldn't do the 24K in forex.com. I would do a prop firm in 24K and get all the money you can make from the prop firm and 24K, and then in about a year or 2, get the money that you didn't withdraw and spend it on your family and your own self, like the extra money, and put it into a forex.com. And now you have a 1 in 50 leverage with like $80,000 in a regulated account. You can't beat that, right? So I would recommend you go the prop firm route and the 24K route, and make money on 24K, make money in the prop firm, live your life, do what you gotta do with your family, have fun. But then there's gonna be a point in time where you just want to pool your payouts and your withdrawals together, and you may have 40,000, 30,000, 25,000 that you want to put into a forex.com or Oanda account, right? You can do that as well. I'd go that path than try to do 10 like me, because I have money to just put in a regulated broker, forex.com. But putting $100 into forex.com and trying to use a 1 in 50 leverage, that's not the best case scenario, as opposed to 1 in 500 leverage, or putting that money towards a prop firm and trying to pass phase 1 and phase 2 and grow on that account. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, my first time talking about brokers in about 4 years. I love you guys. I will see you guys in 2024. We got a lot of big things coming on in 2024. 365swaggy.com begins in 2024. The prop firm is coming there. I got something big and major that I've been working on for years, coming out midway through the year. And I'm just excited to talk to each and every one of you guys, see you guys, and just grow with you guys. So I love you guys. Go to www.365swaggy.com if you want to see me. And Happy New Year. Happy 2024. Gang.